I will want to share just some of the experiences I had this week. And in particular, I think on Tuesday was a day that did not turn out well for me. I actually burnt part of my capital. I think I went down to around I think it was 850 or something like that. But somehow I was able to sit down in the evening, and I was also able to listen keenly on the class that we had on Tuesday evening. And I noted the areas the mistakes that I was making actually in my trades. To point out one of the mistakes that I actually noted that I had not done properly, I think initially as I entered the market, I had not made proper analysis to establish the general trend of the direction of the trend, which was an upward trend. So many times I found myself actually doing buyings, and then for some reasons, when the market is turning, the losses started accumulating so much that you feel like now you're going to blow away your account. So quickly, you close the accounts to start afresh. Well, I don't know what really was happening with me that day, because I did that several times and I ended up really in a very bad shape by the end of the day. But nevertheless, I was able to review and I was able to realize that it is important before you enter the market, just get a very clear picture of the general direction, because that one will make you to be so firm that even if the market for some reason, because obviously it doesn't move on a straight line, it comes down, it goes up, even as it follows its upward trend. So if you are so sure that even if you got it right, you did your analysis well, you have drawn your trend charts, your trend lines, for as long as the direction is within the trend line that you have drawn, actually you don't need to start panicking. Keep cool, let it go wherever it is going, but knowing that actually still it will come back, because the behavior is that it has to go down and come up. That is how it moves up progressively until it reaches its turning point, which actually becomes very apparent because clearly it starts moving away from the trend line that you're drawn, and that is the time probably to get worried if at all you've taken wrong many trades which are not yet triggered. But then before you get there, if again you had drawn your supports and the support lines and the other ones, what are they called? Yeah, those lines, once you have clearly done them, like today, I realized that yesterday night when I was doing my those lines, the supports and the supports and the resistance. Yes, that's the word I was looking. Thank you, coach. Support and resistance. Now, yesterday night I did clearly mark a red zone. That's the highest point which the market yesterday went up to. And I did mark that one clearly and actually put it in red, such that I am very careful as it approaches that particular zone. I go slow in making my buys, because as it approaches there, chances are that it will hit that point and actually it goes down. And for sure that is what happened. And I made a mistake. I had done everything else very well today. The trade line, I knew it was going up, so I was buying without. I was buying whenever I got an opportunity to buy. I was buying as it went down, because it will come up and I pick my profit. That I did very well. But then, as it went up, I forgot that it is moving towards that resistance, which was the highest yesterday. So there, I made a mistake to buy while it is actually already at that resistance. Then, now it actually started going down, and it went down all the way now until 4 p.m. today. And then it left me there with hanging some hanging trades, which now are going into losses. But I said I will test it out. I will not kill them like I did before. because I felt that still it might come back. That was well, it was the mistake I made was to take those many trades at the far end when the market was clear. Yeah, it was clear. I had already marked just for some reason, maybe in the confusion of trying to take advantage of opportunities as they arose. I forgot to be keen enough to really to mind those resistance zones that we always draw. So I remained with those, and there were many. So they took me all the way down, and fortunately, I waited for the New York breakout, and it came up. Now I started smiling because actually now, my prediction was now coming live. So it went up, until it reached again. It came close to the upper resistance that it had turned down. So by the time that was approaching there again, for some reason it turned a little bit. Then now I said no, I'm not going to. It is not going to take it down with me again. So I went quickly to cut my losses. I went out to it. I closed all my trades, but unfortunately there were still some negatives. So that's why actually my statement today, towards the end, most of them they were negatives because I did not actually wait for it for them to trigger as it went up. But unfortunately, again for me, I had waited for more than 3 hours. But when now it came to reach where I was at the top, then just when I was killing it, and it had just turned a little bit, so it was just going back to take force now to go to eat the roof. So it went all the way. In fact, it went the highest level that it has gone for the last 3 days. So there I was left with my losses. Just if I was a little bit patient, I would have actually taken all the profits, and my account would have been much better today. So that's a mistake that I learned, that we need some patience as we make our trades. Let's not panic. The panic part is a little bit. I am trying to manage that. For me, it has been a problem. I'm trying to manage that, and I'm learning day by day how to go about it. Now, maybe briefly, how I have been taking my trades.
Okay, just 1 minute. Make it 1 minute now.
Yes. All right. It will be very short. This one now is very straightforward. Now, I've been using the 3 time frames. I've been trading at 1 minute. I've been using the 5 minutes time frame and the 30 minutes time frame for guidance. So I found this one very helpful. Actually, using this is just what Ken has been trying to emphasize time and again. And I tried it this week, and I'm finding it quite effective. Once these 3 of them, the charts, they are aligned. If you are buying, if you're supposed to, it is an upward trend, and actually you are going to be buying when it just dips, when it starts going down. You wait when the three candles are actually turning yellow. That's the time to place your buys. You buy. Then when the alignment collapses, then you stop there and let it now again move. So you do that. I found it that all the times I did that, I was getting it right, and it was giving me good profits. Otherwise, thank you so much. Those are some of the experiences I had this week. But then maybe something I may also say about the sniper trades. The sniper trades, from what I've observed, the same problem that actually Vincent had faced, I also noticed that. Sometimes you may assume that it will trigger, and your stop buy stop or stop sell, it may trigger, and it goes all the way to give you profits. It is not going to do that always. I think once it triggers, you need to give it more attention. Keep your eyes on it and see which direction is it going, and also maybe to mitigate the losses. I found it also helpful that you enter several after analyzing and seeing which side is likely to trigger, which side for that particular currency the trend will go, will move. Then put multiple trades on that side, so that when they trigger, you just watch both of them, or you watch both of them, or the number that you have put on that side, And as they gain some profits, you can start killing them one after the other, because you'll not, all your focus will not be on those ones, because you'll be busy doing your scalping. So like today I made a mistake that there's one, I think it was USD CAD. For me, it triggered, it was in profit, so I was happy. And I went on with my business of scalping. So only later on to come and check, and actually I realized that it went and it did not take my profits, it came down and it took me into losses of 22 pips. Yeah. So and by the time I left it, it was 5 pips. So I thought that I should have just killed it at that point and possibly even move on. So if you put multiple, sniper trades, you can kill them even if they are halfway. Still, you'll have made your 10 pips if they were 2, and you kill them at 5. Still, you'll have minimized on the risk of it turning against you, and you'll have actually bagged your pips. Thank you so much. We'll continue sharing.
Okay, thank you, Jackson. Let's try Cess again. She indicated that she was having some technical challenges. Let's see if she can say something. Cess.
Before Cess comes,
yes, go ahead.
I would like to say something.
All right.
Yeah, just after posting, I decided to go back to try again. And I think it's risky. I advise that people don't try this, especially the aspect of increasing lot size. I think going forward, we'd rather follow your instructions, because I entered 4 trades and they're at -6, 8 something. I'm just hoping they'll turn around, because if they don't, then it's going to sweep my account.
Okay.
So I'm just waiting patiently.
All right.
So guys, don't try this. Just stick to the 0.01 lot size. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Cess? Are you speaking, Cess? Okay, she might be having the same technical challenge. So anyway, we'll continue discussing, but now I want us to open it up for questions and answers. By the way, the number of people who I'm getting reports from right now is not commensurate to the last time I checked when people were making pips. People are making very many pips. So I'm hoping that this number will increase, at least double this number. So because I have confidence and faith in you. So yes, I know we add a little twist to the mix, and the twist is just a matter of trying to manage your capital. That's it. That's it. You know how to make pips. That's not a problem. But how do we manage it? Yeah. So now we are open to questions. All right. In between, as you're thinking of questions, I just want to speak.
Coach.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Ken. I think some people are still struggling with generating their statement. If you could allow, probably I can just show them. It will just take 2 minutes.
Okay, sure.
To show them how to easily download it on.
Yes.
So I'm just going to share my screen.
Okay, good.
Just to take people through. I think some people are struggling.
Okay, good.
To download the statement.
Yes.
Then at least now we will have the same format for everyone, just for 2 minutes.
Okay.
Please, if you allow me.
All right, and this is for Judy. Pay attention there. All right, go ahead, Ken.
Paying attention.
Okay, good.
Okay, I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Yes, so for Judy and the others, so I believe you're using CTrader, maybe CTrader on the web. So what I usually do is once I am done with my trades,
maybe
I click on...
before you do that,
Yes?
just go back.
Yes.
Go back to where yeah, okay. Judy and everybody else, please note the columns. The columns, there's deal ID, there's symbol, there's opening direction, there's opening time, closing time, okay? And then entry price, closing quantity. Some things like closing quantity we can ignore, but this opening time and closing time are and that's how you do it. You just right click and you see that. It's very, very important, because when somebody wants to see your your performance, they need to see how long did that trade take, like the first line. Okay, some pips, some losing trades, how long did they take? They started at 8:45, maybe they went till 10:45, then they might start asking questions. Okay, why did this trade take so long? Why did you let a losing trade stay so long? Okay, but go ahead now, Ken.
Yes, Coach, it shows the lot size, so maybe we should retrain it.
Yeah, the lot size, yes. Okay, good.
Yeah. So anyway, to remove or add the columns, you just right click here, and then it will show you the ones that you need. So here, for me, I have a dealer ID, symbol, opening direction, opening time, closing time, entry price, closing quantity, commission. Maybe the things we can remove is commission.
Yeah,
pips,
for now.
Pips, gross USD, net USD, and then the balance. So once you have all your columns, and you have filtered, like you want the statement for today, you just come here and change. Sometimes you can put a date range, but because we are reporting daily, for me, I usually just click, like on today's date. And then once you've done this, then you just simply click on this button, statement. When you do that, it opens on a new tab. And then once you are on this new tab, you just right click. You just right click on it anywhere on the page, right click, it brings for you a dialog box, and then you say print. You choose print. And then when you're on print, you have different options. When you're on print, you have different options. So make sure that you choose the destination. Make sure that you change this to save as PDF. And then when you click save, it will open a place where you can now choose to save it somewhere in your computer. So you give it a name, like now that, and then you just click save. And then now it turns into a PDF with all the columns selected, showing properly, without it, distorting the figures. So that's all I wanted to share with you. I hope it will be beneficial to someone. Thank you, Coach. Back to you.
All right, thank you. Okay, now you can go back to the questions. Those people with questions.
Yes, Coach, this is Alex.
Yes, Alex. You've been missing in action. Alex, you're muted. Please unmute your microphone, Alex. Okay, now you can speak.
Sorry?
Okay, we couldn't hear the first part of whatever you're saying.
Coach, I couldn't get you. I don't know.
It's okay. You had your microphone muted.
Would you pardon me, please?
We couldn't hear you before.
Okay. I hope you can hear me now.
Yes, we can.
Yes, sorry, I have not been trading. I only traded on Monday. And of course, everything was going well until I messed up with 2 trades and took all that I'd achieved for the day. I ended up with a negative, but I lost just about 0.3 or 1/3% on that day. I've not managed to trade up to until as of now. I've had some, let me put it, emotional issues, and I didn't want to mix it with the trade. So I've decided to keep off.
Okay.
Hopefully, I should be back on Monday and be able to move on with the trades.
All right.
I think what I've noted with trading, you really need to have your mind in it. Otherwise, you can make serious mistakes and just lose your whole account within minutes. I was just, when I had Judy talking, and she talked of changing lot sizes, actually, I thought that was, and it's good she brought it up to just let people know. I think that's a very dangerous move, and it's not wise. I think we need to take what the coach tells us here very seriously. Basically, lot size determines your risk appetite, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
So we need to be very, very careful with lot sizes. The other thing is, I think for us to succeed, or for me to succeed in this trade, I really have to put in a lot of time. That is one thing I've come to realize. It's not some easy game, easy quick. You know, you do it 1, 2, 3, and then you get rich. It won't work. So just wanted to share that with the rest of the party.
Okay.
But I think I'm more, I'll be back, and I should be able to recoup the losses that I made on Monday. Yeah.
That's very good attitude, Alex. You know, when we have the right attitude in our head, we will be fine. You don't take the loss, don't take it personal. Okay. And this will happen to all of us. Like Jackson has shared, you know, you learn to separate emotions from this. It can be very emotive. Trust me. There are people who have lost a lot of money and actually killed themselves, you know, because of this, because they didn't know how to handle their emotions. Okay. So thanks for the reminder. And while we are still moving on, I just want to reiterate a few things that may have been mentioned in passing by, but I want to re-emphasize. If you're going to be doing this trading and trying to work on building your trade, I want you to pay attention to your trades in the sense that if they start going against you, okay, again, often you realize that, oops, my analysis were wrong. Okay, so you can do what is called counting the cost. If I kill the trade, you know, it will set you back by a few, you know, or hundreds of pips. But when that happens, making up those pips is usually almost 2 or 3 times more difficult. As you've noticed in Forex, if you're making a profit, the profit might be $10. But if you're making a loss, the same thing will cost you like maybe $30 or $50. Okay, the risk reward ratio thing, it still becomes invoked. But usually, if you're doing scalping, I try to make it such that the risk reward becomes a non-issue. In other words, because you are operating, let me say you're operating at a higher level, you're operating at a different level in the sense that because you're watching your trades, okay, you are more likely to get your take profit than actually lose the trade. And even the time when you have to kill the trades, you're killing them not because they've reached your stop loss, no, but because you feel, okay, I've lost this particular trade. It's in the wrong direction. There's nothing I can do. So, like Vincent was saying, in fact, this platform has a thing for turning it around, but I haven't tested it yet. But you can either turn it around or just kill them, okay, because it'll be a loss anyway. That's number one. Number two, I cannot re-emphasize this. Lot size. Keep 0.01. Okay. If I may say, figure of speech. When you grow older, then you can change your lot size at will. Go to 0.02, 0.03. Okay. Because probably you'll have the muscle to handle it. You'll have the ability, to handle it. But for now, it will mess you up. It will mess your account. Once your account is overdrawn to $200 and people are at $1,400 now, you'll feel so discouraged. You won't even feel like starting. But anyway, we are learning. This is a class. You're allowed to make mistakes here. Then number three, the time. I found that early before the London breakout, I found that when I do my scalping, sometimes early before London breakout, I might be lucky for a 5 minutes or so, and then it quickly turns, and then it quickly turns. So if you're not careful, you can have a lot of losses, big losses before the breakout. So what is my suggestion? Usually after the London breakout, okay, during or after is probably a better time, or better yet, within an hour or two after the breakout, then you find the market has made up its mind whether it's going to go up fast and then to go down. Or it will start by going down and then it goes up, changes direction, almost without change, without miss. So just do your back testing and you'll see. So try not to push too many trades early on before breakout, unless you're sure. Yeah. Then again, as a suggestion, I'm not saying you must. Try and pick a currency, quote a currency pair, because currencies are like human beings. They get their behaviors. In fact, all these things are based on human psychology, the way people behave. Hence, a currency pair, Euro USD, we're talking about the pair which will react to what is happening in America and what's happening in Europe. If you pick one pair, it is easier to quote that pair, to know it, back test it, go far back, like Vincent was saying. You can go far back 1 year, 2 years, even 5 years, even 10 years, you can go back. The market always does what it has done before. That's the beauty of the Forex market. Now, what does that mean? It means you know the behavior so that you can almost, I'm not saying predicting, but you can almost tell with high degree of accuracy what the market will do next. Why? Because you've been observing it, you've been looking at it. And trust me, even when you pick one particular pair of currency, you have enough opportunities to trade that you don't need to be flipping back and forth. Because when you flip from Euro USD to GBP USD to Euro JPY, time you flip, then you have to reorient yourself with the structure of that new market. Whereas if you stick to one structure, you have it in your mind, you have your support lines, you have your resistance, you have your zones, and you can say, oops, okay, now we've moved from zone B. Now what am I looking at? We were at C, now we've gone to B, which means you're going back up. So for the next, in this zone, I'm expecting us just to be doing buys. Every time it comes down, I do a buy. If it comes down, I do a buy. That will only happen if you try to focus on one currency pair versus having 5 different currency pairs that you're scalping with. So for scalping, try and focus. For the sniper trade, it's okay. That one you can take any pairs you want. All right, questions?
Coach Jackson, yeah?
Yes, Jackson.
Yes, now there's something that Vincent said about it taking his trades, that he measures within the box. Within the box, he measures, I don't know, he takes his trades, something to do with, I think 40% within that. I did not quite get it clearly. If he can come back and try to elaborate on it better.
Oh, Vincent, you're there. Yeah, he's there. You have to speak louder. Okay. We can't hear you. Hello? Hello, Vincent. Okay. While he's working on his microphone or something, let me try and maybe answer that question. Are you back, Vincent? You back? We can't hear you. Okay. All right. Anyway, let me try and see if I can answer what you're asking, Jackson. And I think this goes back to one of the classes I had. You can go back and look at, I think I called it, what did I call it? Anyway, I'll remember in a minute. But generally, if you have the market moving up and down, I think I call it time cycle or time series, something like that. So the market doesn't
time cycle.
Time cycle, yes. So I did this, and then I mentioned to you guys that often, again, this is the same principle maybe Vincent was talking about. Okay, so if from here to here maybe it's 15 pips. Okay, and I'm just taking random numbers. Okay, maybe from here to here maybe it's 12, and maybe here to there is 10. The market is almost like that. It actually gives almost an average time cycle, the price cycle. And because of that, you find that from one low, you find the market will go up and down several times until it gets there. So in theory, maybe what Vincent was saying, and I think I'm doing it maybe from a bigger level. If you had to draw a box from here, all right, that's a box we're drawing. And this thing is starting from down here, let's say at the bottom, and it's going all the way up. Okay. Now, statistically, the percentage of this market coming from down here to go up reduces as you go up. The percentage of hitting that top there. Okay. As you start your journey, okay, your goal is there, but in terms of probabilities, you find that the higher you go, the more dangerous or the more you are likely to turn. The higher you go, you're more likely to turn. Okay. So whereas your goal would be to be perfect if you get the 15 pips to be perfect, but we found that rather than shoot for the 15 pips, why don't you go for a little 2 pips out of 15 or 3 pips out of 15? Why? Because when the market starts its journey from down there, it is more likely to get you a 2 or 3 or even 4 or 5 pips, okay, way before it gets to 15, because that 15 you're not sure of. But these little pips here, you are more almost guaranteed. And that's why when I say take 2 pips in your scalping, well, sometimes when there's too much volatility, you can go ahead and take 3. No, now 4 becomes a little on the high side unless you are using a 5-minute time frame. When I'm using 5-minute time frame, then sometimes I do 5 or 4 pips. Okay, but if you're doing just the 1 minute, 2 is okay. 3 would be once in a while, or unless the broker has some charges. Now, why am I saying this? Because again, for this currency pair, Euro USD, it has been known over backtesting for a long time that normally one price cycle is usually between 8 and I think about 12 or 15 pips. Okay, which means if you have a good broker where they're not charging you much, taking only 2 pips incrementally is much safer than shooting for the whole hog, 8 or 10. So on the 1 minute time frame, go for the lowest, which is 2, and if you must, 3, but not more than 3. Okay, because by the time you get to 4, then you'll find many of your profits will not take profit. Then if you don't take profit, it means you can't enter more trades. It's a double-edged sword. If you take 2 pips, you can be able to take very many trades. Okay, because they will take profit very quickly, and then you can enter some more. 2 pips, you're out. 2 pips, you're out. And you can enter several times. And that is the logic. It's better you have, 10 or 20 trades of 2 pips, okay, which will take profit, and then you enter again, another 20, that'll be 40 plus 40, that'll be 80 pips, versus shooting for 4, 4 or 3 pips, and you have to wait twice the time. Because that 4, you might only take it 1 time. Again, if you're lucky, chances are you might not get the whole 4 pips. So which is safer? Well, the 2 pips is always safer. Okay. So I think we have less than 5 minutes, unless somebody has an urgent question, comment.
One.
Yes. Judy?
Yeah, just to say.
Okay.
Just to say thank you.
Sorry?
And to ask, like, in a minute, how many trades should someone take if it's triggering?
It doesn't, I can't give you a correct answer because the market has its own volatility. It's not the number of trades you take in a minute. It is how fast the market is moving. The market flickers. Now we have 2-3 minutes. Sorry, Judy, I can answer you offline a little bit, but I have an announcement to make that now I want you to start, not so much for you, but for other people. I have got requests, and I think I'm going to respond. We're going to have a special class, again, an intro to Forex from beginning to where we are at. But this will be consolidated into 1 month. So in the month of September, I'm going to have a class running, and that class will run parallel to what we are doing. So it will not affect our classes. Okay. So I want you to reach out to only serious people. Oh, this time there will be a fee because we realize there's demand, but when things are free, people don't take them very seriously. So there will be a fee. However, all the critics, those people who've been wanting to learn Forex and say they want to learn in a safe environment, they want to start it from the beginning, this is the opportunity. So please pass the word. I will send an ad very soon in the group, and you can share as widely as possible. Okay, I think we're done. We can say good night, and
Yeah, good night.
yeah, we'll talk on Saturday. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night, all.
Good night.
Okay.
Bye.
Sante.